high level and worked great as a team during qualifying.
The 31-year-old, better known in this paddock for his 76 starts in Supersport, his 10 on the Pedicini Kawasaki in 2022. The field completed by championship race is coming up in just a few moments' time, and it could be a World Championship point to Alvaro Bautista if he beats Jonathan Rea here and outscores 9 points available tomorrow and next weekend combined, a lead of 82 now. Steve English alongside me for an historic milestone Superbikes here, but it's the first of 6 remaining chances for Bautista to get this title over. 30 races into the season, we've had 27 podiums for Alvaro Bautista. That's more than he managed in the whole of his 20.
Tomorrow's races, but Alvaro needs to just focus on what he's done all the way through this year, which is his game plan, and that'll be enough to take the championship over the course of the next 6 races at some point.
The figure that's going to have haunted him in recent weeks. Reminder of the championship standings then. The 900th race in World SBK history goes lights out. Good start from Alex Lowe from the second row of the grid, tries to and it's a Yamaha 1-2. Jonathan Rea pushed back to 3rd position. 2 riders already. Plenty of changes to the pecking order then already. Razgatlioglu holding station up at the head of the field. His teammate Andrea Locatelli has gone with him. Pulls alongside him. Elbows out to try and get through for 3rd place, but Bautista holds firm and ahead.
Yeah, we saw the opening corner.
Throughout this weekend, the two have been working together. They did so in Superpole this morning. 3 metres in length, and that's the opportunity for the Ducati to unleash its pace and try and get on terms. But Jonathan Rea,
a few tenths of a second already.
Jonathan Rea has an opportunity to come through here on Andrea Locatelli. So after they started in this race, after Locatelli's fast getaway and Jonathan Rea being bullied in the early stages, he's recovered opening lap, and he is still down in 9th position. So we saw Bautista try and get on turn with Jonathan Rea at the head of a 3-rider train at the moment for 2nd position.
Yeah, you're seeing everyone just have to be really careful.
Stopped, and Locatelli fights his way straight back through. If you don't get it stopped on the racing line, you're on the dirty pot this time in front of Locatelli and can now try and power away from him in the latter stages of this lap number 3.
Yeah, that's the corner where we saw a lot of overtaking in the Super Bassani.
We've got the top 3 in the championship standings in the top.
Yeah, and putting the pressure onto Bassani in front of him as well, and just looking at the top of the shot there, it looked like he's right on the rear wheel of Bassani.
And that's where
it's working well. All these different bikes have different strengths in different areas.
Still very close, the two of them locked together in the background of your picture. Axel Bassani on the number 47. In race 1, we'll see that they flash through with Bassani still ahead. Fastest lap of the race, a 1 minute 32.886. Still the fastest race laps ever around this Indonesian slot of 9th place. He's got Garrett Gerloff for company on the fringes of the top 10. Further back down the order, Scott Redding hassling and harrying the tail of Axel Bassani, and Xavi's only done half a season in 2022, and for some of those rounds he's been riding with real injury, even last time out in towards turn 10, but he's dropped back slightly from Axel Bassani. Wonder whether he made a mistake actually, because his half a season, so job well done as far as Alex Lowe's is concerned. That's where all of the action is, 5th to 8th position.
He's trying to close up onto that group with Bassani, Van der Mark and Lowe's as well, so he's trying to close onto the back of the tyre combinations, front and rear, apart from Hafish further down the field. It means that we're able to
right the way down to 10th position. The action in the background of your shot there from 5th position back. Lowe's Bassani,
the fastest rider on the racetrack. That's why he's got Rea under pressure.
New personal best lap last time around from Andrea. On the riders in front of him, 2 seconds now the gap to Alvaro Bautista, with almost 4 seconds his advantage over the likes of Lowe's Bassani, Vieque Ronaldo. As this race goes on, looking more and more vulnerable to the 19 Ducati.
Yeah, and we saw
Bautista pulls alongside Jonathan Rea, but can't quite get there in the braking zone and settles in for another.
Kawasaki pit box, they know the inevitable is about to happen. Alvaro Bautista is going to come through on Rea, possibly into turn 10, but certainly
Bautista is the man who'll be least willing to risk it all, because as far as Bautista is concerned, he needs to of this lap number 9, as we watch Bautista searching and probing for a way through now on Jonathan Rea for 2nd position, and he's
media about the Ducati and Alvaro Bautista as an overall package. He wants to try and
Alex Lowe's and faster than the men around him as well.
Yeah, Lowe's made a mistake at the start of the last lap. That's what cost him at the front of the field as well.
And it's bad news as far as Alex Lowe's is on Jonathan Rea for 2nd.
Yeah, and just gets himself into the position to be able to
immediately released by Jonathan Rea. He's able to build an 8-10.
The fastest lap of this race off the outright lap record here in race conditions as well, so that shows that he can manage things really well over the course of a race. We know it's going to be tricky to keep that tyre life all the way through 21 laps here.
As they came through turns. And that's Philip Ertl Ertl in the gravel trap, and unfortunately for him, last time out in Argentina, had his lowest scoring round of the campaign thus far, and it's not got any to score a point as things stand. He's got to defend though against Scott Redding behind. As we pick up the fight mark, getting back through for 8th place, Bassani running wide. Axel Bassani getting into difficulties, and Icardi now has come through to lead that group in 5th position. Vieque under pressure.
Stand the bike up, try and run through the runoff area, and then just try to get in the gas a bit too hard, a bit too early.
Yield as well, as we see Andrea Locatelli coming through. He's in 4th position, 2.3 seconds now his gap over Michael Ruben Rinaldi behind.
The time there in sector 2, you can see for Razgatlioglu, he's now under pressure from Alvaro section that he made that mistake, and at least able to get through it pretty cleanly this time around. To the final third of the race, there's a lot of laps left to be done, and if Toprak's starting to that could be a scrap as well for the closing stage of this race before.
Bad news for Carl Smith, who has come into the pits, so you would presume that Bautista, so it's 1.5 seconds now, the gap between the two of them. Jonathan Ray 3 seconds further back, then it's Andrea Bautista and Rinaldi are starting to make some progress.
Yeah, for Van der Mark though, a lot faster than Javi last time around. He's been able to clear him, and he's just trying to open up a little bit of a gap point on, and hopefully he's not having any issues with that tyre life, but we do know that that has been a big concern for us.
See on Locatelli for 4th position, because he's something like a second a lap faster at the moment.
Yeah, he's got an awful lot more bike underneath him than Locatelli at this.
Another 5th position finish for him, so if Locatelli can hold firm from here, doesn't look like issue, and that gives 4th place back to Andrea Locatelli.
Yeah, Locatelli being given that reprieve with considering how good and how strong and consistent he's been over the course of this race so far.
1.8 seconds lost in one
position there on the Yamaha, and he's obviously always very strong in the closing stage of the races.
Barcelona, the last time he really featured in those top 6 places, so an opportunity for Gerloff to finish 6th, as you say.
Have a scrap, and we know how good he is in a fight as well, so I still wouldn't rule him out of coming out on top in that group as well, just because of the job that he's been doing in this race to get himself into that scrap.
Van der Mark then crashes out of points-paying positions on lap 9. I did say at the top of the programme there was a chance for some lesser lights to pick up some major points, particularly if you end up off the racing line, and Michael Van der Mark bitten there. So we've only got 16 runners now in. Look as though Razgatlioglu has got enough in hand here, the only rider still running in the 1:33s. And Bautista,
but for Alvaro Bautista, the goal for him is 62 points at the end of the weekend, making sure that you're that margin clear Toprak.
That is not going to be an easy challenge. It does look as though Bautista tomorrow afternoon could be crowned world champion.
Made a mistake at any stage, and he's been able to get what he can out of this race, because we've seen it with the likes of Rinaldi.
It is for 6th position. Xavi Vieque still defending 8th place. And then it's Axel Bassani and Loris Baz both isolated as well in 9th and 10th.
For Gerloff, he is going to get an opportunity to attack the Honda rider for 6th position.
Yes, it's going to be a day where the Yamahas win all of their battles. We often talk about the Ducatis winning theirs, rounding out your top 10 as we make our way through the final lap and through the final sector. Alvaro Bautista does not. Toprak Razgatlioglu wins again and extends the championship. He only concedes 5 points to the race 1 winner. Jonathan Ray 3rd over the line. Going to be a relief for Locatelli. Michael Ruben Rinaldi with a good recovery in the end from 9th position on the grid to 5th. He'll hope to do it. Sani getting through on Alex Lowe's in the closing stages, so Lowe's is relegated to 9th, and Loris Baz round gets late on. Hafiz Shireen, Eugene Laverty and Kota Nazane. We're waiting for those 3 to come across the line.
Been able to notch up the first race victory there as well. He led the way in the opening free practice session, the Super Pole session, and the
Toprak that got the gap back down to just a second, but then it gradually expanded over the end, and it's hard to imagine how Toprak can pull back 16 points against the rider.
That's what it's all about for Alvaro and for Ducati as well. We saw the Ducati bigwigs down in the pit box, like some GP and Superbikes, but for Ducati, obviously enough, they need to make sure that they're able to get across the line, because it's been a long time since Carlos Checa won the 20 for over a decade now.
As Alvaro Bautista then makes his way